G'day, good morning. Hi here on Instagram, and good morning to you on Facebook. Tanja here, peak performance specialist for real estate leaders, agents, property managers, really just working with people to help them achieve their results in the least amount of time. This is Rapid Fire Friday. Lloyd, bang, straight out of the gate. How are you, champ? Great to have you here. Maddie Macon, good to have you here too. So Rapid Fire Friday is where I one-on private coaching clients for the week, look at what some of the issues are, and then just rapid fire some strategies for you to hopefully take one or two, put them in your toolbox for yourself. And this is really because I know not everyone has the resources to invest in a one-on-one coach, so I don't want you to miss out on some great content. Now, the theme for this week was definitely systemization, and a great sense of demotivation. A lot of people are feeling really, really demotivated. So I cannot stress to you enough how important this conversation is going to be if you feel like you're wasting time and if you feel really demotivated. And if you're watching this live, type in live for me. And if you're watching the record, do me a favor and type in record just so I know when you're tuning in. Okay. So many leaders, businesses, or even individual agents sponsor a lot of community initiatives. And, I had a couple of people reach out to me this week going, I'm thinking about sponsoring this or sponsoring that. What do you think? I see a lot of money in real estate going towards sponsorship. And to be honest, I really don't think people get a high level of return on investment through their sponsorship dollars. It's great to have your brand there and signage, but it doesn't honestly convert into leads. It's more positioning and brand awareness. And for a small business, if it's $1,000 or $5,000, that can be a real lot of money. So what I encourage my clients to do is, rather than just do sponsorship where you don't really get a great return on investment, I invite you to do strategic or community alliance programs. This is where you look in your patch. Here we get Latman for real, g'day, great to have you here. So look at your patch, look at your demographic, create of all sporting clubs, the schools, the mothers groups, the BNIs, the Business Association, Retail Traders Associations, all the groups that are likely to have databases and a lot of end users, as in Mr. and Mrs. Vendors. G'day, Adam, great to see you here on Facebook. Create a database of all those groups and go and have a coffee with the president or the club leader or the general manager or whoever it is, and find out what they're actually fundraising for, because typically sporting groups or schools have a new sand pit they need, or new club rooms they need painted, or an oven in the kitchen that's blown up, or maybe a new scoreboard. If it's a new scoreboard, awesome, because guess whose brand can be on the scoreboard, and guess whose brand people see every single time they're looking at the scoreboard each week for every match. Go and talk to them about you have a community alliance program or a strategic alliance program where, as a local business, one of your values is to give back to local community. And depending on which state you're in and what the legislations are, you could look at actually, g'day Brendan, great to see you here too. The fellas are winning today. Lots of fellas online. Depending on the legislation and what you can actually do, g'day exquisite chauffeurs, then sometimes you can actually give a referral feedback for any lead that you get, or a donation to the club for fundraising. If it's a sporting club or a community organisation, I encourage you to get fundometers, like imagine a fundraising barometer on core flute, printed outside in your branded colours with fundraising aims that the community can support you in. But it's not a one-hit wonder. G'day, Kyle King. Good morning. Kylie King, I should say. Good morning, love. It's one. You need to go to their AGMs. You need to go to the sausage sizzles. You need to really build rapport. But there are strategic things that you can do to ask the club to send out a communication of your partnership to their members. So next time you're considering just sponsoring something, giving a cash injection for a logo placement, here's the thing. I really encourage you to question what return on investment are you going to get? You don't have the marketing dollars that the Coles and the Woolworths and the McDonald's kind of organizations do have. So you're better off creating alliances where you work in partnership to create specific fundraising goals. Does that make sense to you? If it does, g'day Rani. If it does, please give me a thumbs up and let me know. If you are serious about setting up some sponsorship, good morning, Karen, and you're wondering what to do, hook me up. Let's book in a complimentary discovery session for you so we can strategically look at what are the big issues. It's really, really important to have a local presence. I like to invite my clients, thanks for the thumbs up, to become the mayor of their territory. Meaning if you have a slice of a demographic pie, you need to be like you're the guardian or the custodian of that land. You need to make sure the hairdressers are talking about you. You need to make sure when you walk down the street, people know who you are. Don't be your town's best kept secret, because I promise you, there are people sitting in their living room and lounge room every single day, or maybe lying in bed, really starting to talk about the idea of listing or their house on the market, or maybe buying a new home. They currently don't have a relationship with a real estate agent. They're likely to bring in, and they're likely to different pitch, maybe the commission splits are different. You need to go out there and build connection with your community. Position yourself as the trusted advisor who knows more about your local area, the average days on market, the value increases in the property per annum, the prospectus of the local council and what developments they're doing in the area, and how that's going to add value to the residential land and businesses and the oldest house, the oldest resident. There's so much that you need to know to really have a competitive edge. So if you want to actually invest in your local community and want to get most bang for your buck, DM me, comment on Facebook, and let's have a complimentary 20-minute conversation, and I'll help you kind of steer your energy in the right direction. So was that helpful? Let me know, give me a thumbs up. Thoughts on donating $1,000 from every sale to a local community, such as, yeah. Thanks. It's a really great question, Lloyd. Fundraising is awesome. The big check is, good for publicity, for a sense. Some people see it as cheesy and just, cheesy promotion. I think it's better to shoot a video and have it more meaningful, rather than a photo of a big check, because anyone can do that and it becomes, prescriptive. But if you shoot a video talking to the group or the president or the manager of the group, Lloyd, that you're working with, you can, good morning, Colette, is it Colette? Colella Lou, what a divine name. If you shoot a video and say, hey, Lloyd here, we're really proud, we've just donated $1,000 to go towards XYZ club. This is going to give them a brand new oven for their local kitchen, for the sporting club, because they cook 700, sausage rolls every weekend. And, you to become an ambassador for all these local community groups. So the big check, okay, Lloyd, but everyone's doing it. Shoot a video, interview the person that you're talking with, get them to showcase the benefits of the club, what they stand for, their values, how many members they have, and that's way better. Any social media content, really, if you go for video, it's much, much, much better. And Lloyd, if you're going to do a strategic alliance, do what I said, that fundometer in your branded colors, highlighting how many funds you want to raise, and have a regular presence. Does that make sense, mate? And I know we're going to kick off our coaching together soon. So, you and I will talk about that, but definitely let me know if you found that useful. Okay, one client this week, so I coach a really fantastic buyer's agent, and she said to me that one of her assistants sent her on a little bit of a wild goose chase, going to a couple of properties to look at for clients that really didn't hit. She properties, and it was a waste of her time anyway. She expressed to me that she was frustrated, more so frustrated with the fact that she went on a wild goose chase. She's got more clients on her books this month than she's ever had before, and she was actually angry at her team member. Now, that's fair enough. However, if we look at the 3 steps for success to develop excellence in our business, being standards, strategies, state, what was missing? Well, let me ask you, what was missing? Standards, strategy, or state? What do you reckon? Just type an answer in. You're welcome, Lloyd. Did that make sense, mate? Let me know. And as I said, we'll talk about it together. So which one do you think? Do you think it's a standard, a strategy, or state? State being physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual state. I'm going to wait till someone types in. I think there is a little bit of a delay here, but which one do you think it is? Take a guess. Standard, strategy, or state? Good idea. Type in. Well, just for the purpose of time, it's a strategy. See, I asked my client, do you have a qualifying questionnaire that you fill in for every new brief, so then you can make sure that you don't even look at your keys to get in your car to look at, nice, yeah, standard. Well, you could say that it's a standard to have a specific strategy, right? That's our standard. G'day, Tara, great to have you here as well. So rather than waste a lot of time and get angry at your team members, what I recommended to this client was, and I want you to listen to this, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a buyer's agent, or if you're a leader, systemize, systemize, systemize. Have standard templates for every process. Now, depending on what CRM system you use, make sure you use it completely to project manage each job. If you don't have a CRM system that you're currently using, just at least use Trello, which is a free phase of the sale or the purchase. What I recommended to this buyer's agent was, you need to develop a standardized qualifying questionnaire with all the non-negotiables and flexible lifestyle elements for your buyer. And you print it off and you put it in a folder and you make sure it's complete. And you don't go and look at a property unless it meets that critical criteria. She loved the idea and kind of can't believe she hadn't done that before, or she used to do it years ago. And I said, and you need to make sure that as a standard, exquisite chauffeurs, as a standard, every person in your business must do the same. Not if they feel like it or not. They go to every new engagement, or if you're on the phone to a potential vendor, if you're an agent, have a templated qualifying question. Go to list consultation or your appointment with the potential buyer. Please have your listing kit there, your generic stuff, but have a customized folder with the person's name, Tanj in Lincoln, XYZ Street, and the qualifying questionnaire in there, the CMA in there, because psychologically that gives the client the sense that they're a client already, like they already exist. Good morning, Tara. They already exist in your world. You've taken that extra step to even create a folder. And what's that? 99 cents worth of effort to make someone feel more important. I promise you, if it's competitive, if it's a vendor you're going to speak to and 2 other agents are going in, you'll already win by taking that extra effort to have a customized folder. So notice in your day where you're duplicating tasks, where you're wasting energy, and have a look at those 3 steps to success. Have we just dropped it? Do we need a simple strategy to combat this, or do I need to elevate my state? Rani West, you're amazing. Love listening to you. Oh, you're gorgeous. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Much love to you. Typically, it's the strategies that we need. We need to systemize all of our processes to free us up, and it helps give the impression that we're super organized in our business. Now, recently I had a conversation with my youngest daughter's best friend, who's starting work at Macca's, and I'm fascinated by McDonald's, not about the food, but about the systemization of one of the world's most, prolific and successful franchise systems. And I got more interested after reading E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber, and I'm just obsessed with systemization right now. I need to do a lot of more systemization in my own business for every touch point with a client. And as a startup, the challenge is working in business on and processes are amazing. Yes, Lloyd. You know, you're in a very successful team. You got to be slick, otherwise you waste a crap load of time, and you could be missing out on giving yourself a competitive advantage by looking just a bit more polished. Think about it. There is a thud factor to the exchange, you know, a transaction of a home. It's not, you're not buying a meat pie. You're listing and selling someone's biggest asset. The average Aussie earns, we're here in Australia, earns $79,000 per annum. The average couple earns $101,000 per annum. You know, a good agent can make that whole yearly income in a number of transactions, depending on your commission split. So do the due diligence to treat it special and have your systems and your templates and tools set so you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time, and you're super organized. So that's what I would recommend. Or a PA or an assistant, when you fill in that qualifying questionnaire, don't you go and do the data entry in the CRM system. Give it to them to do, please. Like, that's what you're employing them for, to do those non-dollar productive tasks, so you can go out there, build connection in the community, list and sell more. Does that make sense? Did you like that idea? Where in your business can you systemize? Excuse me, I invite you today, even as you're going about your day or as you work through the new week next week, wherever you get clunky, wherever there's a push-pull, have a look. What new system could I introduce into my business here? So give me a thumbs up if that one makes sense. Okay, a big theme, particularly for agents. I spoke to a number of people this week who, a lot of people wrote into me and said, I'm really demotivated. So they have a desire to be successful in real estate. They have some money that they want to make, and over here they're experiencing motivation. They actually know what they need to do, and they're not doing it. And so procrastination is really killing their potential. So typically the problem is, first of all, you have to remember what you've got yourself into. Real estate is a counterintuitive environment. There's no certainty and security. There's no instant validation and instant gratification. You got to generate everything, your clients, your products to sell. Like, you got to generate everything. It's easy to go and get a job, but the benefits, if you get it right, are ridiculous. Your earning capacity is unlimited, uncapped, right? That's why most of you probably joined. G'day, Andy Reid. Great to have you here. Thanks, Priscilla O'Brien, for jumping on. So if you're watching this and you're in real estate and you have a desire to be successful and you're waking up, no mojo, demotivated, really flatlining, what's in the way? You're just desiring an instant result. Now, if this is fueled by stress of debt or just making ends meet, there will be a desperation and a scarcity energy about the desire to land a listing now. And typically that's not going to put you in the right state. And as Tom Ferry says, that may actually cause commission breath when you're out there at a competitive listing. So here's what I invite you to do. Remember what you got yourself into. You're in a counterintuitive environment that it's not going to give you instant gratification. You have to play the long game, and you have to get obsessed with the boring, mundane stuff you got to do every day, but reframe it from boring and mundane to new. It's an opportunity to connect with somebody. So if you're avoiding calls, if you're avoiding door knocking, if you're avoiding going out and talking to people in the cafe, don't get frustrated with yourself that you don't have a listing because you're not taking the action. Typically it happens because we want a big result now. We want the listing now, yet we're not making the little 1% step, which is the phone call now. If you want to develop the most amazing habits to be successful in real estate, I really encourage you to listen to or read a book by James Clear called Atomic Habits. I'm almost finished. I think I've got about an hour and 14 minutes or something to go. Absolutely phenomenal. Heaps of downloadable resources through a lot of links that he shares in the book. I'm listening to the audio so drive a bit. And you know, what I really got yesterday was this whole addiction for us to just have the listing now when we haven't even picked the phone. I really reckon we put too much pressure on ourselves to land the big gold before we've started panning for nuggets. Does that make sense? So look, as boring, as cliche, as simple as it sounds, to really set up great habits to succeed in a counterintuitive environment, A, get clear about where you want to be at the end of the financial year. B, get clear about where you are right now. And C, reverse engineer your strategy down to how many calls, connects, appraisals, listings, and sales do you need to make every week, every month to succeed. Have a positive definition of those actions and show up and do the work consistently. And that word consistently is the key. Too many of us lack consistency because we want success now, and as Matt Church says, instant coffee just isn't instant enough. So fall in love and take those 1% actions every single day, because to be honest with you, it's really not about the result. It's never about the goal. It's always about the person we become to make that goal happen. It's about taking the handbrakes of our procrastination off and getting out there. And by the way, finally, if you want to succeed in real estate, you got to give up the concern about what other people think of you. I ran a training for 80 property managers, just under 80 property managers yesterday at the MCG. We unpacked the 5 steps to confidence and how to rise resilient in a world of rejection and upset. The number one thing that gets in the way of us succeeding is we give a shit about what people think of us way too much. And guess what the crazy thing is? Everybody else is walking around giving a shit about what we think of them. And we're not thinking of them so much, we're thinking about what do they think of us. If you want to succeed in kept secret. You got to find your compelling point of difference. You got to go articulate your value. What do you do differently to your competitors? And I'll give you a tip before I wrap up. Hey, Andy, thanks for sharing this. Preach, sister. Yeah, I'm a bit of an evangelist sometimes. Linda Rutheridge, is it? I can't see properly. Linda, we'll just say Linda. I've got contacts in, but it's kind of blurry on the screen because I've got it really lit because it's dark here today. I'll give you a little tip. Final tip. If you want to increase your listing conversion rate and you go to competitive listing appraisals or presentations, which I call consultations, here's what most agents do. They'll go in and they'll communicate what they do and how they do it. What they do and how they do it. This is the process. This is how we do it. This is the commission split. This is the marketing. Our brain doesn't make decisions on what and how. Our brain makes decisions on why. And if you don't tell me, and I'm interviewing 2 other agents, why you love real estate, why you do what you do, you're missing out. And every time I coach an agent on this, their listing conversion rate goes kaboom, like literally boom, the dial shifts, they land listings on the spot, they really significantly grow their business. So here's what I invite you to do. Make sure you're asking really good questions around what do you expect, like what's most important in the sale of your home. Ask them to order it in priority. Ask them what they expect from their agent of choice as far as characteristics. Ask them to order that in priority. Pardon me. Make sure when you go to respond, you're addressing their needs in order of priority. This is called value mapping and meeting their values. And say to them, Andy, before I share with you how I can meet what you expect in the sale of your home and how I can can I just tell you why real estate for me, why I do what I do? So you're asking permission, you're giving them the power, they're looking at you, they're saying, yes, that's a good thing cognitively. And then you want to say something like this, but it's got to be authentic to you. You know, for me, real estate is an opportunity to help people achieve financial freedom. And I know when I negotiate the highest value for your biggest asset, that gives you power to choose a greater future. I love nothing more than doing that. And in fact, here are some case studies. Here's Tanj in Lincoln. We were able to negotiate $25,000 more than they expected. They always wanted to open a Turkish restaurant. That's us there on their opening night. Here's so-and-so. Here's so-and-so. And tell the stories of the lives you've changed. Stop being a real estate be a change agent. Get interested in positively changing people's lives. Shift the focus off your own scarcity and go out there and solve problems and add benefit and be of service, and let that desire be in your voice when you're making the calls, in your fist when you're knocking on doors, and in your being when you meet with people. Does that make sense? Michael's joined us, and so has Greg. Great to see so many fellas here today. So sponsorship doesn't necessarily work for small business. You need to create strategic and community alliance programs where it's a partnership. G'day, Jamie and Jessica. Wasting time means you need to systemize your business and look at where it's clunky or you get stuck. What system, tool, template, resource do we need to put in here to make this impressive and full of ease and grace? And if you're demotivated, your focus is on the lack of what you don't have. Got to put it on your and result yesterday and be prepared to do the 1% actions today, and incrementally over time, which increase, and you step into this beautiful world of momentum. So did that make sense? I hope it made sense. Let me know, which one are you going to apply? Do you need to review your sponsorship packages or proposals, or even consider doing strategic alliances? Do you need to make the time to stop wasting time and systemize elements in your business? Or do you need to shift your demotivation by falling in love with the little 1% actions that you need to take? Which one? Do me a favor. If you've watched this live, type in live. If you watch the record, type in the record so I know when this message is connecting to you. That's Rapid Fire Friday for Friday the 15th of March, which happens to be my dad's birthday. He's not with us anymore. It's been 10 years he's passing this. And all of you, I hope you have a beautiful Friday, and join me next week for Mindset Mastery Monday. I'll be posting the topic in the next day or two, and I wish you a fantastic weekend, an amazing show day. Remember, tomorrow's the day, if you're an agent, to go and be the mayor of your community and just build awesome connections. Give me a thumbs up if you found this useful. Let me know if you watched it live or the record. Have an amazing show day tomorrow, and if you have a particular challenge, issue, or concern, something you're navigating, you want some support with, DM me, write a comment, email me, hook me up, and let's gift you a 20-minute complimentary session to really support you in your quest for excellence and get you on track. Okay, I really literally wake up to be of service to you, so I'd love to be helpful. Also, tag someone that you think may benefit in with this free content that we distribute twice. Have a amazing weekend. We're going to sign off. Have fun. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. I should also say, if you do write to me and I answer the question in Mindset Mastery Monday, your name will never be mentioned and the brand will never be mentioned. It's fully anonymous, okay? So ask me something and I promise I'll answer. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find it out for you. Much love. Ciao to our friends on Instagram. Have a magic day. We'll speak to you soon. And goodbye to our friends, you on Facebook. I look forward to seeing you for Mindset Mastery Monday next week. Ciao for now.